mitigation that can push forward the country's sustainable development trajectory for COP27 and beyond.
Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to tackle an important topic, which is the Egyptian strategy of artificial intelligence. Well, to shed more light on this important issue, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Professor Nevine Makram, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and the Director of the Social and Cultural Planning Center at the Institute of National Planning. Thank you very much for being with us, Professor Nevine.
It's always my pleasure, dear.
Well, before going into the details, how do you see the developments taking place on the ground regarding Egypt's national strategy for artificial intelligence, and to what extent we are successful in implementing it as soon as possible?
Actually, we're working on the National AI Index, which is very important.
Yeah.
Because if we really need to implement the strategy, then we need to be ready for it.
Yeah.
That's what we always try to explain to everybody, that what we call the E-readiness or the AI readiness.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to be able to implement the strategy, we have to be ready, starting having a good IT infrastructure, working on educating and making more awareness, whether we're talking about the youth or the community, having the multidisciplinary and the interdisciplinary programs, working on the AI research and development, working on our workforce, and this will make our strategy successful afterwards, because the strategy is only kind of a plan in order to be able to implement and to benefit out of the artificial intelligence techniques. But in order to be able to really implement it, then we need to be ready for it.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Nevine, just 2 days ago, there was an important inspection tour of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to Aswan. And he inspected a number of development projects, and in one of his stops, it was Creativa. Creativa, one of the centers built or established by the IT, Information Technology Ministry, and it was inaugurated by President Sisi in 2022 among 8 centers in this regard. Is this related by any means to AI or artificial intelligence?
Definitely. This is one of the initiatives and the programs that are aimed at refining the technological skills of the youth in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the main pillars. So talking about the Digital Egypt Innovation Centers, we're talking about hubs for creativity, innovation, and technology development. And these centers aimed at providing kind of a supportive environment for youth in order to be able to explore the emerging technologies, to collaborate with the experts, to transform their innovative ideas into tangible solutions.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, the resources and training programs, network opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's the main pillar, since we're really focusing on the youth, on how to educate the youth and how to have talent that will be able to
spreading awareness of the real core of AI. And because of this, I should always see the opportunity to simplify the whole issue for the layman in the street. And thank God you are very successful in that. And you made me understand many things related to this issue, because you said a very important statement before in other phone dialogues with me. You said automation is not digitalization, and I cannot consider automation as part of the artificial intelligence, and we should differentiate between this and that. If you please, again, I want to have this differentiation between automation and digitalization, or automation and artificial intelligence.
Okay, thank you very much for asking the question, because we need to focus on really explaining to our audience what's meant by digital transformation, by automation, by digitalization. So maybe I can repeat it in a simpler form, that if we really mean to implement the digital transformation in order to provide digital services to the citizens, then we need, first of all, to work on the data, which is the digitization part, because we need to validate the data, and we need to make it kind of digital, not in the traditional form. And then we need to work on the procedures, which is called the digitalization, as you just explained, so as to simplify the procedures in order to provide better services in an easier way for the citizens. And then we will be able to implement what we call the digital transformation in order to make our citizens happy. With all this, we're talking about the normal automation. What we mean by automation is making use of IT and information technology. As per its definition, we're talking here about software, hardware, and networks. So
then
that's kind of...
Please continue.
Okay, so that's kind of maybe the prerequisites if we are to implement the artificial intelligence, because one of the definitions, again, of artificial intelligence is that it is a set of analytics that are working on huge amounts of data in order to provide patterns and to provide indicators to decision makers and policy makers to support them in their decision-making process so as they can take the proper action.
Yeah.
So the first step is to have the digital data and then to be able to apply artificial intelligence. So having a computer working on, like for example, when we were providing the classes online, okay, in the corona, the virus era. So providing the class online and having a Zoom link is not artificial intelligence. It's kind of providing e-learning. It's kind of making use of automation in order to be able to provide our educational services. But
and this is a very good example.
Yes, if we are to provide artificial intelligence, then we will move to a better model, which is like, for example, implementing the intelligent tutoring systems.
Yeah.
What we mean by intelligent tutoring system is that we're talking about customized content. So we will have the content of a course, and then we will customize it based on the learner, based on his pace of learning, based on his learning style, his capabilities.
It's a different criteria. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, Professor Nevine, but I wanted to end with this. Artificial intelligence is to boost the performance of the human cadre, not to eliminate or to decrease the missions of the human cadre.
Yes, not to substitute humans. We're aiming at supporting humans, not substituting. Although there are some jobs that will disappear, but these jobs we're not really kind of providing any outcome, as we say in our language, in our IT jargon.
Yeah.
So we will be focusing on educating the youth and making awareness for all of the community in order to be able to make use of artificial intelligence for our benefit. We are not aiming at substituting.
Professor Nevine Makram, Professor of Artificial Intelligence, I want to have a promise that you are going to be my dear guest live here in the studio to speak in more details. Promise?
Honored, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, by this we come to the end of our episode. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates, and for more details please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching. With all my love, this was Nermeen Abdurrahman.